Hi Ocean View first and second graders. Today we're going to make a beautiful sunset scene. Here's an example of what a finished piece might look like. And what we're going to learn in this scene is something called perspective. Perspective just means how things look from where you are looking at it, from where you're sitting or standing. And to start this, you're going to need your watercolors, your paintbrush, and some water. You start using watercolor by putting your brush in the water. And let's start with our sunset. I'm going to go straight into the yellow paint. And I'm going to work on the top half of my paper first. So I'm going to start with the actual sun. So you want to come and you want to give yourself a half of a circle. We're only going to see half the sun because half of it will be below the water line. So give yourself kind of a half circle of a sun there. And clean your brush. Now, if it feels scratchy when you're painting with watercolor, it means you need more water. And if it feels like it's running away from you, it means you need to take your paper towel and sort of get some of that water off and a little less water. It should feel like you're kind of skating over the paper with your brush. So after you make your yellow sun, leave a little white space and go ahead and paint right around it, another stripe halfway around it like that of orange. And after that you can do red. I'm leaving a little bit of white in between. I'm going to mix them together in a minute. There's red. Yeah, if you want to, then you just put some water on there and you kind of mix them together just a little bit on the edge. Oh, they look so pretty, like a rainbow. So I've done yellow, orange, red. Now I want to go into the blue. There's no green in the sky in a sunset. The next color is going to be blue. Mine's already mixing a little bit. It's okay. And blur them together. Clean your brush. Go into purple. And purple is going to be the rest of the sky, whatever you have left around the edges. But we're only doing the top half right now. Not painting the bottom half yet. If you use the side of your brush, you can really paint a lot very quickly. So go ahead and fill in the rest of your sky with purple. Good, that part's done. It's time to do the water. Cleaning my brush again. I'm going to put in a special line in this picture. It's called the horizon line. It comes right along the middle here underneath the sun. You can leave a little space between what you just finished painting your sunset in this line. Go back and get more paint if you need it. There. Now I put my horizon line. What a horizon line is, it's where if you're looking way off in the distance, say at the sunset and the water, it looks like they meet up in a line. We call that the horizon line. Sometimes it's the land, looking off at the land where it meets up with the sky. That's the horizon line. Okay, let's paint some of this water now. So now that I have my purple horizon line, I'm going into my blue. I cleaned my brush. And I'm just going to put some blue lines that just go across my paper. When I'm back by my sun, they can be even squiggly lines. They don't have to be absolutely straight. The water isn't that still. But as I come down towards the bottom of the paper, I'm going to leave more and more space in between my lines because things that are close up appear to be bigger and farther apart. And things that are far away, like way back at the horizon line, are smaller and closer together. We'll try something else with that again in a minute. So I put my blue lines in, but I still have a bunch of white space. So in between there, I'm going to think about how the sun is shining on my water. And I'm going to put maybe some yellow in there where my yellow would shine out. And after a while, some of these colors are going to start mixing together, and that is okay. Some yellow in there. And I'm going to think about orange being in there. A little bit here and there on the sides. That and that, they're starting to mix. That's okay because the water has lots of colors in it if you ever look at it when the sun is setting. Lots of colors. And oops, it's coming a little bit too much there. I'm going to take my little paper towel and just blot it up. Okay, and then I'm going to maybe put a little red off on the side. You think there's red water? I think there might show some red in the water sometimes. And whatever's left, I'm going to put a lot of water in my blue and use the side of my brush and just fill it in and mix it up with some blue and kind of fill in. I can leave some white here and there too because my water has some movement in it and the white makes it look like it's got some action going on. So I don't have to fill every single spot. There, now my water's done. Guess what? My horizon line almost got lost there. That's okay, we'll bring it back later, but right now I'm just gonna fix it up a little bit. There. Okay, now my painting is ready to dry. Don't pick it up and put it this way. The wet paint might drip down. So keep it flat, move it out of the way and let it dry. That's part one. Time for part two. You have a black piece of paper, you need a pencil, and we're going to do this part that's in the front, or the foreground. The front of the picture is called the foreground. The back, what looks like far away, is the background. So here in the foreground, the front, I want to have some hills. I put trees in mine, but I'm going to make this one even simpler. If you want trees, you could draw them, just the outline, or a person. I'm drawing on my black paper. It's hard to see it out here. I'm going to draw a big hill. I'm going to come down. I'm not going to reach the bottom, but almost. And back up on the other side. Up, 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 up. There. I started a little ways down. Went down and up. Now, I'm going to cut along that line that I drew. So I'm taking my scissors. And I am trying to follow my line, and I am coming around and cutting out the two hills that I just drew on my paper. I went from one side of my paper to the other. Paper's got to be the long way across, just like you're painting. Okay, now I have some hills, and when my painting dries, I should be able to paste them right on top like that. It's not dry yet. So I have some more cutting to do. I want to make the two boats now. See my two boats? There's a big triangle and a small triangle. And this shape is called a trapezoid. There's actually two of those. I'll show you how to do it. Here's my leftover paper. I'm turning it upside down. And I'm just going to cut a triangle right here. That'll be easy. There's one triangle. That's a pretty big one. So I'm gonna try to cut a smaller one out of the other corner. There's a smaller triangle. Now I need that other funny shape called a trapezoid. Might want them to face this way. You can put them whichever way you want your boats to go. I like my boats going that way. Okay, so once I cut my triangle, I have this shape here, and I can just do this. Here, here, and over here, smaller one that way. So I want to make one bigger shape for my bottom of my boat. If you can't quite understand the trapezoid, just cut yourself a shape for the bottom of your boat. Make a bigger shape for your bigger triangle. And make a smaller shape for your smaller triangle to be the boat. Okay, now I have 2 boats. If I took a black marker and I drew a little line here to hold my sail up, my boats would be complete. So after my painting dries, all I have to do is put glue with my glue stick, turn it up, and I glue all along the edges of my black paper and inside the middle and along the bottom and along the edges. That would have plenty of glue, and I could take it and just put it right on there and glue it down. And the same for my boats. Turn them over, turn over your triangles, put glue on, paste them on. And you can see here on my finished ones that I tucked this one underneath my hill a little bit. That was very tricky. But you don't have to put yours like that. If it's too hard, you can put them elsewhere. However, you do want to put your bigger boat closer to the bottom of the picture and your smaller boat farther back, closer to the sun, because what's closer to you looks bigger and what's farther away is going to look smaller. When you're finished gluing all your black paper down, you need a black marker, and this is kind of fun. When it's all dry, you can draw some birds in the sky. I made them different sizes. You can make big ones and you can make small ones. You could make some little stars way out in the distance. I drew the moon too because my sun is setting and the moon is coming up. And I drew a line right along my horizon line, and my waves are really close together back by the sunset, by the horizon line, but get bigger and bigger as they come closer to me where I'm looking at the picture. And then there you'll have it. You'll have a complete sunset scene. I hope you enjoy making it. And if you want to send me a picture of your artwork, I'd really love to see it. You can send it here to Ms. Mary M. Ernst at AUSDK12.org. And I want to put the steps to doing this project on the screen one more time. In case you forget, you can come back to this part of my video and you can see how to make it with steps for the painting, steps for cutting out your black paper, and remembering to draw with a black marker when it's all dry at the end. Have fun making some art, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.